Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm Ron Mackenzie LaFergie. There are some pretty crazy supervillains out there. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're cool, and sometimes they're downright scary. So let's talk about some of the villains that I think would be the scariest to encounter in real life, whether from their looks or their actions. So put on your nightlight and get under the covers because it's time for the top 10 scariest supervillains. Number 10. Bloody Mary. We all know the legend. Say Bloody Mary 3 times into a mirror and she'll come kill you. Crap, I've said it 2 times already, gotta be careful. This is a popular folktale generally used by one kid to scare his or her friends and feel cool. But she was recently introduced in the Batwoman comics, and they did a pretty good job of making her look about as scary as we always imagined. I get that she isn't objectively the most terrifying of villains, since, you know, there are a lot of much freakier and more dangerous villains, but considering how freaked out many of us were by the legend as kids, there will always be a horrified place in my heart for Bloody Mary. Oh crap, I said the name again. No, please! Number 9. Killer Croc. While he wasn't particularly scary in the Suicide Squad film, Killer Croc would be absolutely terrifying if he was real, and closer to the comic version. Over 10 feet tall, with razor sharp teeth, looking like a freaking crocodile chasing after you trying to eat you, yeah, I would be expelling waste through every hole in my body. Sometimes villains just trigger that fight or flight response in us, and this one definitely does. Not that I think our ancestors evolved to be afraid of giant humanoid crocodile monsters, but when I see him, my biology definitely tells me to kill it with fire, or run and hide. Probably that last one. And it probably wouldn't work. Number 8. Id the Selfish Moon. Id is just such a creep. Look at him. At best, he looks like some creepy dude who watches people changing through a telescope, and at worst, he looks like a murderous serial killer. And unfortunately, the latter is probably the more accurate option. Because if a planet doesn't excite him enough, he blows it up and snorts the dust. Something tells me if a giant angry moon showed up and asked us to entertain it or we'd die, we'd probably be a wee bit spooked. Because nobody wants to be blown up and snorted. I mean, I assume. Maybe there's someone out there who's into that, but I'm sorry, if that appeals to you, you're weird. Number 7. Saduhem. Saduhem is a Hellboy villain, one of the evil spirits known as the Ogdruhem. He takes on a number of different shapes, each scarier than the last, although normally he presents as a giant terrifying creature with tentacles and claws and suckers and all sorts of nasty things. He kinda looks like Cthulhu, who I really wanted to put on this list but wasn't sure if he'd count as a supervillain, so I went with Saduhem instead. Either way, coming upon a giant tentacle monster that just wants to eat me would be a pretty scarring experience. Number 6. Martin Mad Dog Hawkins. This is one dude that not many people know about, but he is just bone-chilling. He doesn't look as scary as the others on this list and isn't as powerful or accomplished as others, but he is absurdly creepy and terrifyingly psychopathic, not to mention something that could actually happen. Hawkins was actually the man who drove Amadeus Arkham, the creator of Arkham Asylum, insane when he broke into his house, killed his wife, sexually assaulted his daughter, chopped off her head, and put it in a dollhouse as an April Fool's joke. Seeing such a twisted human being who just wants to kill women is really freaky, and the worst part is that it could actually happen. There's even a reference to him in the Arkham Asylum game where a headless statue has Mad Dog written on it. If you want to see more about him, check out Arkham Asylum: A Serious House on Serious Earth. The art is pretty intense. Number 5. Doomsday. Doomsday is definitely one of the freakiest villains out there. First of all, the dude looks terrifying, so dark and evil and spiky. His scary appearance may well have been one of his adaptations. However, not only does Doomsday look scary, but in reality he would be essentially unstoppable. Especially in our world where, you know, we don't have Superman. Once he adapted to our bullets and explosives, it'd be damn near impossible to even scratch the creature. If Doomsday was around today, it's safe to say we'd all be living in fear, although on the bright side, we probably wouldn't be living that long anyway. Yay, silver lining! Number 4. Carnage. It was kind of a tough decision between Venom and Carnage. I didn't want to have both, but definitely needed one of them. I ended up choosing Carnage partly because he looks a bit freakier and partly because he's just way more insane and murderous than Venom. Sure, Venom kills dudes and threatens to eat their brains, but a lot of the time, especially recently, he takes on more of an anti-hero role, or a hero role. On the other hand, Cletus Cassidy, and by extension Carnage, is just a straight up serial killer. So not only does he look like the stuff of nightmares, but if you ran into him, he would almost certainly kill you. But if you're lucky, lucky, he'd kill you quickly. Number 3. STYX. STYX, one of the personalities of Legion, is one of the villains that is scary both in appearance and in his abilities. First, just look at him, he's freaky. He's like the Silence from Doctor Who meets Slender Man, except he has a mouthful of sharp teeth and he's naked. So yeah, he's absurdly creepy looking. But what's more is that he can absorb your freaking soul. Just by touching you, he can absorb your soul and control your body, even able to enter the minds of powerful telepaths like Professor X. This is particularly scary for me because as a kid I always had nightmares about a dude called the Brain Sucker who sucked out your brains by touching you. And STYX is eerily similar, so he scares the crap out of me. Number 2. Joker. Joker is definitely not the scariest looking of villains. Eerie, sure. Crazy, definitely. Funny, I mean, sometimes I guess, but generally he doesn't look particularly funny. But the Joker is just so damn insane, and murderously so, that you honestly have no way of knowing what he'll do next. Will he just tell you a subtext-heavy joke about people walking across a roof? Or will he tie you to a chair, torture you, and make you laugh yourself to death? Who knows? This unpredictability, along with his undeniable genius, makes him absolutely terrifying. And if, on top of all this, you're also afraid of clowns, God help you. Number 1. Scarecrow. Considering fear is kinda the MO of Scarecrow, it's no surprise that he'd find himself on this list. Scarecrow certainly isn't the scariest looking of villains in his normal state, and when played by Cillian Murphy, he's downright dreamy. But he has a few tools to terrify at his disposal. If you ran into Scarecrow and he used his fear gas, suddenly he would become your greatest fear. And you know what they say about people's greatest fear? They're scared of it. Yep, people say that, it's a thing they say. Plus he can turn into a scare beast, a pretty freaky looking monster that naturally emits his fear gas. Now, the Scarecrow is pretty scary, but not as scary as this Scarecrow. That's me, I was in Wizard of Oz. Spooky. That's it for today, hope you enjoyed. If you did, please smack that delicious thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos. Let me know which villain you'd be most scared of in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm Ron McKenzie LaFergie with Top 10 Nerd. Later, nerds.